Hey everyone, welcome to the Fat Life Podcast, a place where we celebrate embracing the good life, drinking the good drinks, eating the good foods, and being an overall good person. Now, it's time to embrace the fluff with your hosts, Reggie and Carter.
Welcome to the Fat Life Podcast.
What's going on, everybody?
Thursday evening.
Yep.
Feeling good?
Tired. I'm tired. It's going to be a late night.
Yeah, it is.
Early morning.
Early morning.
3:30 in the morning.
Yep.
Jump on a 6 hours worth of flight time.
Yeah, for something that should take 2 hours to do.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour flight. It's pissing me off.
Yep.
Fly from Phoenix to Ontario, LA. Stay on the plane. Fly from there to Oakland. Mm-hmm. Get off the plane. Get to a new plane. And then up to Spokane.
Unbelievable. I would do it just because I haven't been on a plane in 20-something years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's that long, huh?
Yeah, I just don't really go anywhere where I need to get on a plane to go.
That's crazy.
My ex-wife wanted to always fly to Vegas. I've always wanted to do it too. Just never done it.
Vegas would be a fun flight.
Yeah. It's only an hour, but it gets you on a plane. Unlike a lot of people who fly, they don't like planes after a while. I would love to do it once.
I wish I was in Vegas this week.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's SHOT Show right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you've got like all of the 2A supporter businesses, companies out there.
Gotcha.
They're doing a huge, it's kind of like Comic-Con, but not comics, more
right.
Gun, military, ethics.
Gotcha.
Things like that. Be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sig Sauer just released a couple new handguns and...
Nice.
An assault rifle. Holy shit, I'm sorry, guys. Got the case of the yawns, and I'm giving them to you. I know, right? Oh, you know what didn't make me on this week?
What's that?
The shooting in Kentucky.
Yeah, happened today.
No, it happened Tuesday.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yep.
I don't follow.
Well, that's the thing, though, is it wasn't on the news.
Right. Wasn't a big story.
No, they didn't put it on the news at all.
I don't know. I think it was on purpose, but that was my opinion earlier.
I think it was a 15-year-old kid, walked onto campus, killed 2 of his classmates, and injured 18 others.
Right.
The big story to me, though, is the Kentucky school shooting, quote-unquote, hero.
Okay. What did he do to be a hero?
Well, he showed up to school late, of course, while the shooting was taking place.
Okay.
And was going to flee.
So just leave.
Yep. Flee the scene, leave, But hey, he's a young high school kid for his own safety, right? That's most likely what you'd assume.
Right.
Story then goes on to say that as he was fleeing the school, he slammed on his brakes because he noticed yards away, like probably 100 yards, in the football field, laying on the ground, was his best friend that had been shot. Surrounded by teachers and faculty that had no idea how to care for this wounded boy.
Okay.
But this kid miraculously ran over to his friend, drug him to his car, because, the teachers and faculty had no idea what they were doing.
Of course.
And rushed him to the hospital, where they saved his life.
Okay.
How the fuck do you... props to the kid. I'll give him that, right? But how the fuck do you see that it's your best friend 100 yards away, laying on the ground?
Okay. So we talked about this earlier, so we were going to try to debunk it. And I think I may have figured it out.
Sure.
I think, and this is total speculation, I think that he saw someone in the grass, ran to them, realized it was his best friend, and then helped. Nope. Although in telling the story, he says, I saw my best friend on the ground. There's no way in hell he saw...
He said the only reason he stopped was because he saw his best friend.
Yeah, no, that's not possible.
Laying in the ground.
That's just... Even with 20/20 vision, that's impossible.
And the teachers and faculty
surrounding him
didn't know how to help him.
I can understand them not knowing how to help him.
To an extent.
Because with that kind of trauma, unless you practice, when that kind of thing happens, you lock up. For civilians who are not trained.
Agreed.
They tend to lock up. A lot of times, there was a study recently that showed that in cases where there were fires in buildings, they went back through and found that there were scratches and marks on the handle of the door because it was a push door.
Yeah.
But they were trying to pull it open.
Okay. And
because they were panicking, they couldn't figure out the concept of just pushing the door open.
I can understand that. Here's my thing, though. Military veteran, like, I know my shit, right?
Right. You're trained for this kind of thing.
Yes. But I don't think the kid's story adds up. Okay.
Mainly because you don't think he actually saw his best friend.
No, I don't. Especially, at least the story said like 100 yards away, right? So that's 300 fucking feet.
It's a long distance.
That is a football field away.
Yeah.
You can't tell that it's your best, unless his best friend had some fucking crazy, like, distinct look.
Right, which is
like
even
7 feet tall, fucking 700 pounds. All right, you know it's your best friend, right?
Right.
Or maybe it was like, hey, I'm wearing this today. What are you wearing? But even then, guys don't do that, right?
Yeah, it's not in our...
So, like, my thought process on this is this kid was supposed to be the getaway driver.
You think so?
Yep.
You think he was the getaway driver for the shooter?
I think he was supposed to be the getaway driver for the shooter. Because the kid that shot never killed himself, never harmed himself. Shot and killed 2 students and then injured 18 more. I don't think this quote-unquote hero was there to go to school. 1, he showed up late, right?
That happens in high school.
True. 2, he said that he saw people running all over the place, right?
Right.
So, like, I don't know about you, but where I'm parked, like where I parked in school, was nowhere near the entrance of the school. Especially if you think of high school, you're running late. There are no spots close to the door next to, like, in high school. For me, it was the first fucking people to get to school parked right up front, because as soon as school is out, they're in the car, they're gone.
Right.
Right? So, like, if you're showing up late, you're most likely parking in the very back of the parking lot.
Right.
But the way the whole story sounds, he didn't park.
Mm-hmm.
He was, like, at the fucking front curb of the school. Mm-hmm. You know, that's how his whole story goes.
That's a tough one, because I think every school's different. At least for my high school, it was, there's 2 entrances to the parking lot, and the parking lot was paid for.
Okay.
So
so was ours, but it was, no matter what, like, every student that was a sophomore above that had a license and drove to school had to park in the same lot. There was no senior lot, sophomore lot, junior lot.
We didn't have that. We had it by the spot. So if you had a paid spot, that was your spot. You didn't, park wherever you wanted to. You parked in that spot. That was yours. And they only sold enough for however many people bought. So even if your spot wasn't open and someone took it, there's still going to be a spot open for you, because if you didn't have a tag on your car, you're getting towed. Like, it was just the way they did
ours.
it. Yeah, it was stupid. But you could come into the parking lot in two different ways. Mm-hmm. You could come in through the front gate, which goes right by the front office, the gym, all of that shit. Or you come in through the backside, and the backside you would miss all of that and wouldn't have anything to do with it. Personally, if I'm running late, I'm coming in through the back, so I'm not going by the front office.
Right.
I'm not looking for a way to get to class sooner. I'm just trying to get a spot and go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it just depends on how the school's laid out. But I agree with you 100% in the fact that there's no way, if someone took 100 people that looked like you and lined you up 100 yards away on the ground, I would not be able to tell it was you.
No.
I couldn't tell you at all. And I highly doubt this friend of his, was that far out there that he could be like, oh, that's very distinctly him.
Right,
it's just not possible.
No. It makes zero sense to me. I think he was a getaway driver. I think the Kentucky police, and I believe the FBI, because school shootings involved,
right,
need to do some intel. look into the friendship of this quote-unquote hero and the shooter.
Agreed.
Because I'll guarantee you there's probably some communication back and forth.
About something.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, hey, I need you to pick me up. He may not have known why he was picking him up, but hey, I need you to, skip, play Ding Dong Ditch today.
Or he was told not to come to school early.
Yep, exactly.
I could see that.
Absolutely.
I don't know what kid would be like, yeah, sure, I'll be late to school.
I mean, every kid would.
If your friend tells you, hey, don't show up on time, it's kind of weird. I'd be tipping someone off on that, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But I do think that story is a hoax. Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot more underlying issues that go into that. Second thing is, we talked about this a little bit today. This story was not on the news.
No.
Like, not broadcast like crazy. My immediate thought on that was, it was interesting to me because mainly CNN or Democratic news, liberal news, I should say. Mm-hmm. Whenever there's a shooting of any kind, they throw their gun propaganda and agenda directly into it immediately. Mm-hmm. Like if you look at the Vegas shooting, the Sandy Hook shooting, like any of these shootings, right?
Right.
That's what they jump to. Mm-hmm. This wasn't broadcast at all. This was a Yahoo News story, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I've thought about this one as well. Is it possible that there just wasn't enough casualties to make top story?
Well, it's pretty sad if that's the case.
I mean, because, I shouldn't say think of it this way, but do you remember the shooting that happened at O'Connor?
No, never heard of it.
Exactly.
But when was it?
This would have been, Megan was a junior in high school? Junior or senior in high school. So, 12, 13, maybe 11? I don't remember. Yeah, 2011, 2012. Wait, no, that would have been 15 or 16. 2015, 2016, maybe 2014 at the earliest.
No, I never heard of it.
So, seeing this wasn't publicized anywhere, except for maybe local news.
Okay.
And it didn't happen on campus, so that probably would be another reason.
Where'd it happen?
So there was a kid. I think he was a junior, senior, somewhere in that range. He was in a dispute with his ex-girlfriend. Went to class with a loaded gun. Went the whole day in a loaded gun. Left. It was a half day. Uh-huh. His ex-girlfriend at the time, went home across the street from the school. And he followed her and put 2 in her and then turned it on himself. And the whole school, there was a whole controversy behind it because the school didn't tell anybody that any of this had happened until 4 or 5 hours after it happened.
Okay.
A mass email alert went across to all the parents and stuff that this happened. And then when the details came out that he was carrying a gun at school and nobody saw it, nobody knew he had a gun on him, that caused a lot of red flags. But it wasn't on the news. It wasn't anything that anyone talked about. I mean,
here's the thing with that. It didn't happen on school campus, so the school does not have a forceful hand in we have to tell anybody. It didn't happen at school, right?
Right. But a student was armed on campus. That's something you have to disclose.
You know how often that happens?
I'm sure a lot.
It's called concealed carry, right? And obviously, anybody with a handgun 21 or younger than 21 years old, it's illegal.
Right.
Right. But the thing is, it's called concealed carry for a reason. No one's supposed to know you have that weapon.
Right.
So that's the thing. Is it's like, how the fuck's the school supposed to know? Schools these days, at least in Arizona, unless you're going to Trevor Brown, do not have fucking metal detectors.
Right.
It's
right.
You don't fucking need them.
Right.
Right. So it's like, how's the school supposed to know? They're supposed to search everybody's backpack every day, 24/7? No. It's just school like normal. They don't have any ideas what's going on.
Right.
Or every every high school couple that breaks up, they're supposed to like then, do research
Monitored,
into,
yeah.
right? Like, no, it's not realistic.
Yeah, I noticed that when I went to school, I took guitar for 2 years, and I had a hard shell case. Could have easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Would have never known.
Nope.
Would have never known. I could have carried assault rifles. I mean,
Right.
because it was a hard shell, so I could put anything in there. There's plenty of room for anything in there.
Yep.
Not monitored one bit.
Agreed.
So.
But
yeah,
again, it's an
tragic.
instrument, right? So like people don't think of these things.
Yeah, it's a tragedy, and hearing that this kind of thing has happened again, at this point, I think my dad summed it up best. I think I'm just pretty numb to it at this point. Like, it doesn't shock me anymore.
I just feel bad that, one, they're making this kid out to be a hero, right? Of an awful event. Two, I don't believe he's a hero in any means. I think that what he is being hailed for would be a courageous act, yes. But at the same time, any true American and male would do the same thing.
Right.
Especially if they knew it was their friend, right? They're going to help. But third, like, it's just, they shouldn't be publicizing that. They should be publicizing, like, these families are now in a shit ton of pain and suffering.
Sure.
With the loss or injury of their loved one. And that's the story they should focus on. Is how does the community come together as a whole to make things better.
Right.
And to prevent situations like this happening in the future.
Right.
They're not doing anything of that nature. They're not even putting the shit on the news, which is fucking pathetic.
Right.
But, hey, that's, again, fake news for you, right? On both sides. Both sides. Calm down.
Yeah, it is what
Don't
it
give me
is.
that look. It's both sides.
It is what it is.
But people these days, they come up with fake news stories just to... The news, and that's what's interesting, the news doesn't ever these days put on the happy-go-lucky shit. Mm-hmm. It's always, what's going to make America fearful?
Right.
Stay indoors because if you go outside, you could die. Like, no shit. No fucking day is for granted. Or taken for granted, Like, it's not guaranteed.
I agree.
But I'm done with this story. I don't want to give this kid, shooter, or this fake hero any more fucking credit than they deserve. I'm over them.
Yep, there you go.
What's next on our storyline, Carter?
Where do we begin, really?
You tell me.
So, we had a huge... I don't want to say huge. It didn't seem like it was that big of a thing. Car chase yesterday.
Where? I haven't heard anything about this.
Okay, so this started on the 85. Do you know where that is?
Yeah.
So on your way to San Diego, you take the 85 down into Gila Bend. So this started just north of the MC 85, which is actually considered Buckeye Road. It was supposed to be a routine traffic stop. And then the vehicle decided not to stop and just keep going. So they pursued him all the way to Tempe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Going speeds averaging 55 to 60 miles an hour. Yeah, that's
So it wasn't
true.
a high-speed pursuit.
Not at all. It became high speed once it hit surface streets in Tempe. So you've been down in Tempe before. If you go down to Scottsdale Road in rural, like it turns into rural if you go towards ASU. So the guy gets off the freeway, takes a right into ASU country.
Sure.
Goes down rural. I want to say the story was saying that it was around baseline. Close to baseline. They had him stopped at a light and they were getting ready to box him in. And he maneuvered out, went through the light, kept going. Picked up speed after he started to realize that they were really on him. Blew through a light, lost control of his car, went head on with another car.
Oh, damn.
Shot a half a mile down the road from it.
No shit.
Yeah, hit the
Out the
car and
window?
just kept going. Oh, no,
Oh,
the
no,
car.
he kept driving.
The car just kept going.
Okay.
Out of control and smoke and everything. And then the guy got out of the car and they detained him right away.
Sure.
No word at this moment of, was he carrying? Why? He had a California driver's license. We know that.
Was it Yasmani Tomas?
No, because he probably would have hit 100 miles an hour on the freeway. this guy was being respectable and only doing 55 to 65 miles an hour.
I got to give the man props for that, right?
Keeping the traffic laws. Just keep going.
Did they say why the initial traffic stop was?
No idea.
Okay.
No idea. But it was just north of the prison that's out there.
Sure.
On the 85.
Okay.
So I guess the initial thought was that maybe they had someone with them or something, but nothing ever came up of that, at least in the news story that I saw. So, but the video of it happening was brutal.
That probably took an hour and a half.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing because they didn't get aerial coverage until they hit the 59 and 10.
Yeah.
So it took them a while to get someone out there. But once he gets off the freeway and they start to box him in is when the chase actually picks up video-wise. And when he goes head on, it was just like, damn. Like, even I was like, ooh, that's rough. So, yeah, pretty gnarly stuff there. I couldn't believe it. Something like that happening doesn't happen very often around here.
And now, so say if he, even if he just had a fucking missed court date warrant, right?
Sure. They're
going to take him, book him, or he's driving on suspended.
Right.
They're going to process him through and then release him the next day.
Right.
Right.
Or
if it was a warrant from his court date, he goes in, gets an extension, and he's out the next day.
Right. Right.
Now, I don't know what fleeing and evading, or resisting and evading the police.
Not getting out the next day, that's for sure.
No, it's at least a couple years.
Yeah.
But
unbelievable.
Plus hit and run.
Yep.
A hit and run there. I don't know if he ran or rammed any of the police cars during this chase or whatnot. Mm-hmm. But I do believe police cars are considered harming a peace officer if you hit their vehicle. Because it's the same with like one of their dogs or horses as well.
Sure.
That's what I don't understand. Speaking about Tempe and ASU. So you've been on Mill Avenue, right?
Oh, of course.
Late at night on a Friday, Saturday night. Tempe police, they roll around on the horses.
Yeah.
Right? And these drunk motherfuckers fucking slap the horse's ass thinking it's going to run off. They don't understand that police or that horse in the state's eyes is considered a police officer.
Right.
And that's assault on a police officer.
Exactly.
That could get them 10 years.
Exactly.
For slapping a horse's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep. People are retarded.
Some people just don't pay attention to shit.
No.
They're fucking nuts out there, bro.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty basic information, but people are just stupid.
Absolutely.
So we talked about Stipe and Ngannou.
Horrible fight.
Horrible fight. I have an inside source. I won't name the person. I have inside sources that told me that Ngannou not once trained for wrestling or cardio the entire time he trained for Stipe.
What's this inside source?
I'm not telling you my inside source. They asked to remain private, so I will keep them private.
Yahoo?
No.
Google?
No.
Who, bitch?
I'm not going to say on air. I'll tell you off air. But all I can tell you is that he went to the UFC Performance Center.
Yep.
You
have a buddy that works for UFC, don't you?
So, sort of. He went to the Performance Center, and all he did the entire 3 weeks he was there were hit mitts.
Yeah.
When you're going up against one of the best wrestlers in the heavyweight division, you decide to just go hit mitts because you think your right hand's going to finish the fight for you? Come on now. Come on now. I heard that and laughed.
But if you look at it, like, that's what the UFC's hype, that's all they promoted, was his knockout power.
Exactly. Because that's what they were expecting to happen.
Yep. That's what they wanted to happen.
It'll be interesting to see what they do next with him, honestly. The more talk and more buzz that I'm hearing is Stipe is going to be gone for a little while after that fight. Obviously, he should be because he took a lot of blasts in that fight and concussion protocol and everything. You should at least take a couple months off before he fights
He's also
again.
got a baby on the way.
That too. But he needs to take some time before he does another fight. And
you know who's taking a large amount of time off?
Who's that?
Ngannou.
Why is that?
He posted today. He's taking time off.
Oh, really?
And a large amount to
Interesting.
Relax, recover, go back to Africa or Cameroon. I don't know where exactly that is.
Right.
And spend time with his family.
Good.
So,
Good.
and that's the thing though, is it's like when you take a loss, and a loss of that fashion, just being grinded out the entire fucking time.
Yeah, of that magnitude as well.
Like, you can say, like, if you get knocked out in the first round, right, in a championship fight, and you're undefeated like he was, cool. They caught you slipping. But when you get grounded and grinded out for 5 fucking rounds, 25 minutes straight, like, it does a lot to your morale and your confidence as a person.
Same thing as getting knocked out in 13 seconds.
Yes, but, like, they caught you slipping, right? You can come back from a knockout pretty easy. But a unanimous decision and fucking... I mean, Stipe won every second of that round. Or
exactly.
That fight.
That fight was over 3 rounds in.
Right, and so, like, with that, like... You fucking prove that you're not the superior athlete that you thought you were, you know, and he gassed out the first round. But it's like you do that, yeah, you got to fucking take some time to gain your confidence back. And,
exactly.
And especially because Cameroon's not huge in the whole paparazzi aspect and film crews and publicity. So he's going to be able to take that time to really recuperate and train the way he needs to. Mm-hmm. And not just the whole, like, oh, I'm going to do this in the limelight kind of thing. You know?
Right. Yeah, you know, that's definitely, it definitely makes the heavyweight division interesting. And the light heavyweight division, I think, is now, both divisions are going to be kind of scrambling to create opponents for, you know, their champions, because there's just nothing out there right now.
There's not. That's the thing.
There's just nothing. I mean,
because you don't want to see Ngannou and Stipe again. That just happened.
And you can't really. You can wait for Cain Velasquez, but I mean, the guy's got a cage around his spine. So, like, come on, like that's not going to be.
I don't think he comes back. I really don't.
I expect him to.
I don't think he should come back.
I agree with you on that point.
That's that. I don't see Cormier versus Stipe ever happening.
I do.
I don't.
I can almost guarantee that's the next fight.
Daniel even said he wouldn't get in the ring with the heavyweights.
He will if the money's right. He will. Because I realize it kills him to get down to 205.
True.
It takes everything out of him to get to 205.
True.
So, you know, he was a heavyweight Grand Prix champ in Strikeforce. All he ever fought was heavyweight in Strikeforce. Then he comes to UFC and fights light heavyweight. He can stand with the best of them in heavyweight. And not stand with them, but he can take them all down. There isn't a heavyweight in the division outside of Stipe and maybe Cain at 100% that can wrestle with Daniel. And I think Daniel could easily top the heavyweight division for a while if he went.
I'd like to see Ryan Bader come back to the UFC as a heavyweight.
Yes and no.
Just because of his wrestling.
Right. His wrestling is fantastic.
Just the wrestling. Because if you look at it like heavyweights, everyone wants that knockout fight. But in reality, the best fights are the fucking ground and pound grappling. Like, I love that shit.
Right.
Because it's very technical.
Exactly.
And you slip up
There's
once.
an art to it.
And you fucking have an armbar, you have a guillotine, you have a triangle, you have a Kimura. Mm-hmm. Like, you have all these fucking different aspects that are truly take technique and training and knowing what you're doing.
Exactly.
But no one respects that art because it's quote-unquote boring.
Right. There's very little room for error.
If you just want to watch striking, fucking go watch boxing. Oh, wait, it's dead. Yeah. It's a dead sport. Yeah. The only reason it's not at the current moment is fucking McGregor. Mm-hmm. It's true. Like, I mean, seriously, dude. Like,
it's true. Viewership on boxing was way down before that fight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, and I mean, the only huge fights you have were Mayweather, Pacquiao, Mayweather, Canelo, or Canelo,
well,
whatever.
You just had Canelo Triple G, which was a huge blockbuster, and obviously we're gonna get another one of those because it was a draw, which I thought was a bullshit call. Yeah, I thought Triple G won that fight hands down. But that's what you get when you fight Canelo on Canelo's terms with his refs. There's no way Canelo.
See, and so that's the issue I have with boxing. Mm-hmm. If you look at it, Mayweather promotes his own fucking fights. It's his fucking venues that he chooses. It's his promotion. You know, he's choosing all the terms.
Right. I think
same with Canelo. Same with Pacquiao.
It is 100%.
They need a fucking. Like the WBC, that's what it is, correct?
Yes.
Needs their own fucking sanctions in that aspect. Mm-hmm. They're in charge of the referees. They're in charge of fucking the venues. They're in charge of the promotions. Like, they do it all. Not fucking the boxer makes all the goddamn decisions.
Right, the promoter.
And who and where and how he's going to fight someone.
Yeah.
No. That's what I like about the UFC.
It's pretty uniform.
Yeah, in that aspect. In that aspect it is.
Yeah, boxing will always be a dirty sport to me. There'll never be a clean fight that I think was clean and 100% by the book.
Maybe way back in the day.
Even then.
Way, way back in the day, though.
I mean, you're talking back in when they were bare knuckle boxing? Like,
maybe, or like a George Foreman style.
Nah, it was dirty back then, too.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the aspect of they're promoting their own fights and hiring their own
but you had the
referees
mob involved.
Yes.
I mean, they'll never. I mean, you have to go way, way back before you can start saying that boxing was legitimate at this point in time.
I think all sports are that way right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's why I think Pete Rose should be allowed in the Hall of Fame.
Why is that?
Because that's how fucking sports are. Let's be realistic.
Because
he just got caught betting on his own fucking team, or against his own fucking team, I should say.
Sure.
Like, that's the biggest thing, right? So this huge debacle right now, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's been on the news, is good old Patriots.
Yeah. What did they do this time?
And, well, the refs, right? We talked about this before.
Yeah.
The refs fucking partying, congratulating, like, with the Patriots as they're scoring touchdowns and shit.
Right.
There was a story, and I don't remember if it was true or not. I'm going to assume it's not. But all over the news, ESPN, Yahoo, saying that the NFL is rigged in certain aspects.
Right.
Because if you think about it, if Jacksonville won, there is no way in hell to promote that game.
Yeah, it is. Cinderella story.
Yes, but they don't have a huge fan following. Like, nobody really cares.
Okay.
But it's the Patriots. Everybody wants to fucking see the Patriots. No, I fucking hate the Patriots.
Everyone wants to see the Patriots lose.
Right. But it's like, that's just it, right? They can promote it like crazy.
Sure.
They can't do that very well with Jacksonville.
That's very true. I guess I can see that concept.
But even certain players were commenting. Like good old Von Miller. I love Von Miller. He's dope as fuck. Commenting on shit, fucking saying certain games are rigged and shit. You know, like just like Patriots had one fucking penalty the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of problems with that game.
One penalty.
One penalty is definitely
versus 16.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make much sense to me.
But I mean, not to take anything away from the idea that it was one penalty versus 16, but it also shows that Jacksonville was just not there.
Agreed.
I mean,
agreed.
Some of the calls were ticky-tack, sure. But, I mean, and like my dad and I were saying, every other play where New England was on offense, it was like, and there's a hold. He's holding him. Oh, he dragged him to the ground. That's definitely a hold. Nothing's being called. And it was like, what? Am I the only one watching this game?
Right, exactly. That's the issue.
It just, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to comment on that kind of thing. Because, you know.
What do you think of your new head coach?
Pause. I don't know.
For that right there, we're talking about new Arizona Cardinals head coach, Wilkes.
From Carolina, yes.
Yep. Former
Steve Wilkes or something? No.
Mike, I think.
Mike Wilkes, yeah.
Former defensive coordinator for Carolina Panthers. He's also been to and won a Super Bowl as a coach.
Yep.
Not a head coach, but I want to say a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But very good resume. Very good resume.
Absolutely.
First thing he does, let's go the defensive coordinator of the Cardinals.
Yep.
Brings in his own.
Yep. Which is hilarious to me. Well, not hilarious to me. I think it's a good move. It's hilarious to me. I say this because we had this conversation with my dad today.
Oh.
How he talked about how can you get rid of this coach? You know, they were ranked number 1 in the last 6 weeks of football. Okay, cool. All season long, all you ever heard from my dad was they need to fire the defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. He hasn't done shit with the team. You know, ever since Bowles left, he hasn't done anything. He's horrible. And we're at this point where it was, now that it's done, it's like, well, why'd you get rid of him?
Yep.
This is what we've been talking
Exactly.
about for how long now?
Well, and
You
then
knew
right
this was
now,
coming.
offensive coordinator-wise, they're looking at Darren Bevel and Mike McCoy. Is who they've interviewed.
I don't know their
Yeah,
resumes.
is who they've interviewed so far. And then, so their big thing, and Steve Keim pitched in on this in some interviews, is that the way Coach Wilkes wants things to run and the way that they're plan on finding a quarterback or drafting a quarterback that is going to have the potential to be amazing is going to be with that offensive coordinator, but more importantly with that QB coach.
Sure.
And so, because if you think about it, if you could take a well-rounded, decent quarterback, especially fresh out of the draft, I think, honestly, the Cardinals' best bet is to go fresh out of the draft. Now, Keim wants to go veteran QB.
All he's ever done. Yeah.
I think fresh out of the draft because you don't have to unteach them all the shitty fucking habits another QB coach or OC has taught them.
Sure.
They need straight out of college, have that chip on their shoulder to be like, yeah, I'm a badass. I just got drafted into the NFL and I'm going to be starting. And then to want to prove something, but have the NFL IQ, or not NFL, but football IQ to actually do what their coaches are telling them to do.
Right.
A lot of veteran quarterbacks are going to say, fuck you, I'm doing it my way. Oh, yeah, sure, coach, I'll do that. Nope, we're doing it my way.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that's the issue. That's the issue the Cardinals have really always had.
Yeah. And last quarterback we drafted right out of the draft was Leinart. And obviously he didn't have the fundamentals there, and he didn't have a good backing from our coaching squad to get him where he needed to be.
I think that was the issue because Leinart in college, incredible, right?
Yeah, but we've seen that a lot. Where
You have.
incredible players come out of college and they're just fucking flops.
But do you think it's because of the coaching?
I think it's 50-50.
I do too. I'd agree.
I would say it's 50-50. Do I think he may have been a little bit more successful with better coaching? Probably.
Yeah.
Do I think he would have been the caliber quarterback where we would have put all of our chips on him?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. I don't think he had the talent there to do it. Plus, he could never stay fucking healthy, man. He broke his collarbone, and he gets injured again the next season. It's like, fucking hell. I would like to see them draft somebody, but as long as Keim as our GM, it's not going to happen.
They need Baker.
I 100% agree.
Baker Mayfield.
Get Baker Mayfield.
Here's my thing, though. Baker's not going to be around in the second round, right?
No, but he's not going top 10.
No,
We know that.
but all of the top mock drafts right now are reporting Cardinals are drafting a defensive tackle.
Because that's our history. That's just what we do.
Stupid.
It's what we do. Offensive linemen, defensive tackles, defensive linebackers.
You're not going to need either of those if you don't have a fucking quarterback. Are we going to go into fucking week 1 without a quarterback?
No. Hey, you're preaching to the choir. I
Right.
agree 100%.
I mean, you're not going to use Blaine Gabbert.
No. Like Gabbert will be gone this season.
Your fucking dad was so happy they put Gabbert in, and then he fucking sucked.
No, he did great that first game. We were all
Yeah,
like,
the first game, yes.
Gabbert's the king, and then he went in the second game, and it's just like, there was just nothing there for him.
And then you know who stepped up, though, was Drew Stanton.
Yeah.
In that game.
He did.
And I'm talking about the last game of the season versus Seahawks.
Oh, of course.
He stepped up.
Well. He played really well. The first time in years that he played really well.
Yeah.
So
I think since he got drafted.
Yeah, good on him for winning a game, I guess.
I really think Teddy's coming to Arizona, bud.
I want to see it.
You do?
I do.
You said you wouldn't like Teddy.
I wouldn't like him if he came out and tried to be an RG3.
He's not, though, and he knows he's not.
And if he tried to come out to be a Russell Wilson or an RG3, I don't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
But if he can come out and stand in the pocket and throw the ball and move out when he needs to, I'm all for it. 100%.
Part of it is I think you need to grow with the game, too, and understand that running quarterbacks, if they are controlled, can be very good.
They don't win Super Bowls.
Russell Wilson does.
Russell Wilson's won one Super Bowl.
I don't give a fuck.
That's one Super Bowl. Your statistics, your one Super Bowl versus all the Super Bowls where a running quarterback hasn't won.
No, I get this, but I'm saying
you're
like
on the wrong side of the argument.
It is evolved, but at the same time, even if he's not running, he can fucking throw the ball.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That you need a quarterback like that. That's controlled in his run, but can still fucking throw the ball.
And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a Seattle fan. I don't pay attention to their games, but you're seeing less and less of them going to the quarterback read option with him and more giving him the option to make the decision on the field.
Yeah, and I think that's because of his football IQ, though.
But you're seeing him evolve into the pocket passer who runs when he needs to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I want. I don't want a Cam Newton. I don't want a Colin Kaepernick that's going to look to pick up a first down on his own when there's plenty of options out there.
Well, and that's just it. Wilson won't.
Exactly.
Unless he has to, and he's trying to evade the sack,
right?
Then he's not going to
That's
run.
where I think you and I are on different pages.
Right.
Because I think the blanket statement of I hate running quarterbacks is probably not a good enough statement. I don't want a quarterback that's...
Like Cam Newton.
Exactly. I don't want Newton. I don't want Kaepernick.
You'd take a Russell Wilson in today's era.
In today's era... Yes. Would I take him straight out of college? No, because he was very much a Cam Newton quarterback.
But even if you think about it, so think this season, Russell Wilson's got like fucking all 11 players on the field right in front of him.
Right.
And it looks like he's going to run. And instead, he fucking throws a dribble pass to fucking Doug Baldwin.
Sure.
And fucking makes touchdown out of it. Like, coolest pass of the fucking season for the Seahawks. But again, decided not to run and wanted to throw.
Exactly.
You know, and like that's the thing is you just have to have that football IQ and know exactly how to do it. And
exactly.
Win.
And that's and for me, I think I'd be more than happy to say yes, I support that. That's what I want on my team. You know, I don't want a Vince Young or fucking they don't last. They don't.
Well, hey, they want a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that.
Fuck, why don't we they want veteran? Why don't we just ask Brett Favre to come out of retirement?
I'm sure if the paycheck was right, he would.
Or maybe Kurt Warner.
Nah, Kurt Warner will never.
Fuck, Tony Romo's only been out for a season or two.
Fuck you. I would never.
Let's bring Tony in.
No.
Let's bring in the Romo.
No.
Yeah.
That homo can stay at home. And his commentary, Romo the homo. His commentary for that New England game was fucking atrocious.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh my god. Dad and I were both like, what the fuck is wrong with him?
I put it back. Remember I told you I had the issues where it was in Spanish?
Yeah.
Well, I figured out the reasons.
Okay.
So Cox Communications has like a setting to where even if you're watching normal channel, you can have it in the SAP mode or in regular English. Well, we didn't know these things.
Right.
Fucking, I turned it off of the English to put it back into Spanish because I was tired of listening to Romo. Like, that's how bad it was.
Yeah, I can't stand him, man. And the last couple minutes of that game, he was just like, oh. It's like, be a fucking professional and explain what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop making noises, you douche. Fuck, go back to Dallas, you piece of shit.
Little douche monkey.
I can't, but that's, again, as a Cardinal fan, as a Seattle fan, you probably don't have to deal with it as much. But as a Cardinal fan, I can't stand any commentators commentating on a game.
Yeah.
Just because whenever it comes to Arizona, and I'm sure there's other teams that deal with this shit too, but whenever it comes to Arizona, there's never any respect
for the other team.
For Arizona.
Yeah. Oh, true. Okay.
There's never respect for Arizona. When we play Seattle, it's about how great Seattle is. Let's suck Seattle's dick all day. San Francisco, they had a shitty season last year. Fox, NFL Today on Fox, all they do is suck San Francisco's dick, which is common San Francisco. But, anywhere we play, it's always, look how great this team is and fuck the Cardinals. And it's just like, come on, like, seriously.
I'm excited to see, I really am, though, about how Jimmy Garoppolo does.
I am, too.
I am on the Jimmy Garoppolo bandwagon.
I'm excited to see Arizona and San Francisco actually be a game now.
Yeah.
Because last season it wasn't. No. It wasn't even close. The season before that, it wasn't even really much of a game.
But it may not be if the Cardinals don't get a fucking quarterback.
That's true. That's very true. It could go the opposite direction and us be the shit team. It would be very heartbreaking next year.
You know what would be heartbreaking? Is if the Cardinals go 0-16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't think it would happen. No. But if they did, got the number 1 draft pick,
Yeah.
and fucking picked the offensive or defensive tackle.
Yeah, that would be what we would do.
Exactly.
Or we would trade it to somebody else who's not going to pick a defensive tackle and just go back in the draft and wait.
Right, like what the fuck?
Yeah. And we trade it for a veteran quarterback.
It's because of who Steve Keim is. Fucking 6'3", 300-pound fat ass.
He's got a hard on for old quarterbacks.
Right. Maybe it's because fucking their assholes are loose or
As
something.
long as we don't get another Kevin Cobb, I'll be okay.
You remember that?
Yes.
Oh
as
my
long as we don't
goodness.
get another Anderson, I'll be okay. I can't deal with those years again.
Yep.
That was the hardest years to be a Cardinals fan. Kevin Cobb was a fucking joke. And I had a Cobb jersey too. And
Well, because Cobb came in after Warner, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So no.
No?
Cobb came in. Well, it was after Warner, but I believe it was Anderson first, who came from Cleveland.
Okay.
And then we picked up Cobb, and then we went from Cobb to Palmer.
Okay.
And it was just like, fuck.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
I'm losing my mind. Can't do it.
And for me and you, like, the season's over, you know? Like, yeah, the Super Bowl's coming up, but
It's nothing.
our teams aren't in it.
No, it doesn't
You
really
know?
matter.
I just want to see New England lose.
Yep.
Don't think it's going to happen. Could. Philly can pull off a miracle, but I don't see it happening.
I would
Fortunately.
put all my money on Green Bay. Or not Green Bay. Fucking
Green Bay, huh? They're not even in the fucking Super Bowl.
I'm thinking of the Greenbirds. I'd put all my money down on Philly winning.
You would?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Just because I know if they do, I'd make money.
Yeah, and that's
they're going to
just
be
it.
underdogs going into that game.
That's just it.
I think they have a chance with Foles behind quarterback. I could see them possibly pulling it off. But, I mean, their defense has to be as fucking stellar as they were against Minnesota.
Sure.
And even then, it's like, it's a slim shot. You know, they'd have to be that offense that puts up 4 touchdowns on Brady before he gets one in order to stay in that game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no way. But then again, last year I said the same thing about Atlanta. I didn't think Atlanta could win the game. I bet on Atlanta when my dad was betting on New England. And, of course, I lost like an asshole. But nobody going into that game thought Atlanta was going to do what they did. So I'm hoping Philly does the same thing. I hope Philly shocks the world next Sunday. But I don't know that it's going to happen.
So, the spread is super low.
Really?
4.5 points.
Huh. Well, you got 2 high-powered offenses and 2 very good defenses.
4.5 points for New England.
I mean, it's very possible.
Over-unders at 48.
I really don't expect to see it like the Broncos and Seattle. I don't expect it to be that kind of game.
No.
Where Seattle just ran the score up on Denver. I expect it to be more... See, I don't even want to say Denver and Carolina because Carolina was out of that game by a second half. I expect to see something more like last year, except I don't expect there to be a huge comeback. I expect it to be pretty much down to the wire.
Well, what would you
Back
say
and forth.
an average Super Bowl ticket would cost?
6 to 7 grand.
Okay. What if I told you you get a lower level seat for $3,000?
Huh. Seems fake.
Oh, it's from Vivid Seats.
Really?
Yeah.
Lower level.
Lower level.
But then again, it's location, Minnesota.
Half the stadium is not sold.
Really?
Well, they're sold out, but they're on this.
They're on there trying
Yeah.
to sell a ticket. Well, there's a lot of people that sold their tickets because their team's not in it. You know, a lot of Minnesota fans are getting rid of those tickets.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you and I talked about earlier, it's a fucking Super Bowl,
That's true.
right?
It's true.
It's realistically, money-wise, financially, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience to be able to go. Now, I don't know how much Super Bowl tickets are initially, like because they tell you 4 years in advance where it's going to be, yeah?
2.
2? Okay.
2 years.
2 years. So where's
Yeah.
next year's?
I want to say it's San Francisco again.
Okay. So say it's
I want to say it's San Fran again. I know that they're doubling up again.
right.
Somewhere they were just
so,
at.
So say it's San Francisco, right?
Uh-huh.
Can I buy tickets today?
No.
Why?
Because tickets don't go on sale until...
That season?
Yeah.
Okay.
And usually tickets don't go on sale until right before postseason.
Okay, but even then, I want to know how much tickets are at that point.
Yeah, and you also got to realize that any season ticket holder that's in that stadium gets first dibs.
But only at that stadium, though.
At that stadium.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but you're talking about if you go into a stadium like Dallas, Jerry's World. I mean,
Exactly.
everybody there's fucking season ticket holders. Like, it's not going to be easy to get
Well,
tickets.
it's the same
to
with
that
the
game.
Cardinals.
Well, yeah, although season tickets for Cardinals have dropped quite a bit.
Yeah.
At least holders, because they just haven't been that good.
Do you know Seahawks are 100% season ticket holders?
Really?
Yep.
You can't buy single game tickets. That seems right.
You can through people reselling them. Mm-hmm. But I've been on Seattle's season ticket holder wait list for 7 years. Mm-hmm. 7 years.
Yeah.
Before we won the Super Bowl.
Huh.
I still haven't gotten that fucking phone
That
call.
doesn't make sense because the NFL allots for a certain amount of tickets for single ticket games.
Well, okay, then I will say then they're 100% at what they're allowed to be.
Yeah, I could see that. Green Bay's been like that for
100%
centuries.
at capacity.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it makes 0 sense. I just want to buy the cheapest fucking Super Bowl ticket I can get. You know what I want to do, Carter? Is there any rumors about Super Bowl come back to Arizona?
The rumor that I'm hearing is it's going to be one of those every 4-year states.
Okay. So with that, right, ours was what, 2015?
Yeah.
2015, 2016?
Uh-huh.
With that, I want to sneak into the Super Bowl.
You want to sneak in?
Yeah.
So I was right. So next season's Super Bowl will be Santa Clara, California, right where Super Bowl 50 happens, so San Francisco Stadium.
Okay.
And just before we move on to a new subject here, there's 4 states currently fighting for 2020. It's Miami, Atlanta. Miami, Atlanta, New Orleans, and Tampa. Those 4 are fighting for 2020 currently.
Gross.
All
Sounds
of them.
horrible.
I wouldn't want to go to any of them.
Yeah.
No. I'm surprised they're not doing one at Dallas Stadium. I mean, shit, you can fill more people in there than anywhere else, but whatever.
This is true. But,
You want to sneak into a Super Bowl.
yep, pretend to be a worker. Like a construction worker. I've seen it happen before. Last year on, I think Barstool Sports reported on it. These 2 dudes walked in holding a ladder. Mm-hmm. And just walked right on in. Got past everybody.
I'd have to think it's not hard to get volunteer options for the Super Bowl.
Right.
To work the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I'd have to think it's not hard at all. But then again, if you work concessions at University of Phoenix Stadium that whole season, you're pretty much guaranteed to work it for Super Bowl.
True. Very true.
So, I mean, I would do that. I would work the hot dog stand just to go.
No, I'd quit.
You'd
Mid-shift.
quit mid-shift and just sit there and watch the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Fucking
Until they try to escort you out.
take a
with
backpack
security.
full of fucking hot dogs and bounce. Oh, you want my last paycheck? Go ahead, take it.
Yeah, I'm just going to sneak right up here. Don't have a ticket. Don't worry about me.
Right,
Yeah.
I feel like the box seats, like the suites,
Yeah.
where at least if it's anything like the Phoenix Suns, or even baseball, you have a private waiter. I guarantee you they're probably chilling in one of the suites just watching the fucking game.
Of course.
Someone's
Someone's probably going to be like, hey, grab me a beer. Hold on. Just hold on.
Let me watch this play.
No. Sir, my mimosa. Bitch, wait.
Brady's about to score the 19th touchdown.
Excuse me, red zone. Calm down. The mimosa's coming. Calm the fuck down.
Can we get jobs as waiters in the fucking suites?
Fucking great.
Oh
I
my
would love
god,
that.
bro. Last time I went, I got to go last season Diamondbacks suite.
Yeah.
And our waiter was telling us, like, he was cool as fuck. But he was telling us, so back in the day, he got stiffed on an $8,000 bill.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I used to see that a lot as a busboy.
Yeah, the dude, but $8,000?
No, we used to see,
Yeah.
when I worked at a Mexican restaurant, you'd see people walk out on
$60, $70 tabs, maybe a little more.
No, $300 to $400.
Okay.
In tequila shots.
Yeah.
I mean, big parties.
Right.
And they would leave a $2 tip. And
Yep.
I'm just like, you fuckers.
Yep. Yeah, and so this one, like, dude fucking had his card on file with them, right? And so at the very end, it was like, cool. Like, left before the game was over.
Yeah.
So it didn't have any issues. And then fucking, when it comes time to fucking sign away on the card, oh, it's declined.
Oh, get the fuck out. Jesus.
Dude got stiffed on that shit, bro.
Jesus.
So now I guess like they make you pay halfway through.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I'd be fucking furious.
Horrible.
Bro, going to Diamondback Suite was gnarly.
Yeah.
So like Suite was beautiful, right? They've got like the bar seating, they've got regular dugout seating style, folding chair shit, and then they've got like the couches,
right,
and everything like that. But bro, they had fucking like their vegetable tray was like more of like a Bloody Mary glass with fucking huge pieces of celery, carrots, mushrooms, all this shit, and then fucking just like the the nice things of dressing and everything, and then fucking popcorn, pretzels, hot dogs, fucking everything you could think of.
Forget about it.
Oh, bro,
forget about it.
I told you I love stadium food.
There's some good ones.
Yep.
The worst one I've ever had is the Diamondback dog. Which
one's that? Is that the Sonora dog?
No, it's the... Is it a corn dog?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. With the fucking giant, like, 36-inch hot dog?
Fucking disgusting.
Is it?
It is nasty.
Yeah, it is a corn dog, yeah.
Yes, it is fucking gross. Cheese, jalapeno, bacon wrap. Like, it is just...
That sounds delicious.
My ex-wife and I sat, and we got one. We had it sitting at the table, and we're sitting there eating it. And I was like, this is disgusting. Like... I can't. Like,
and it's expensive too. It's like $20.
Yeah, and the hot dog didn't taste right. It was just like fucking. Nah, I'll never do it again. Huh. See, I like to go there and get Lolo's chicken and waffles. That shit's the fucking bomb.
Yeah, that is bomb. I like the Sonoran dogs though.
I've never had one.
Hot dogs with some mayo, some pico de gallo.
Right.
Bomb.
Right.
I don't like it with the pico, but just mayo on a hot dog. Good to go. Or their bratwurst are bomb too.
All day. I used to get made fun of when I worked at Costco. I'd put mayo on the dogs. Fucking great. Yep. Just good.
That and what do you call it? Everything there is really good. You know, their sports stores are
I like Lolo's there. I also like they used to have Fat Burger. I don't know if it's still there. Fat Burger's a shit. But I haven't been to.
But see, I like the regular stadium food. I don't like the chain
stuff.
No, I like.
Yeah, see, I don't
like. I go to a baseball game, right, and like I'm old fashioned in that aspect. I get my drink, and I love their fucking $1 hot dogs,
right?
Because like, you get 3 of those bitches, $3, and then you get a souvenir cup, and you pay $10 total, you know, and then fucking go sit down and maybe get some peanuts or Cracker Jacks as concession dudes walking down.
Yeah, I haven't been to a game in. Oh, God, it's been at least a couple of years. I think the last game I went to was with me and my ex-wife went. We sat 5 rows behind home plate.
Okay.
Her dad is a lawyer for a firm that does property stuff. And one of their partners was like, hey, they sent him 2 tickets, and he did not want to go because he did not want to talk to them. So he's like, I got 2 tickets for you guys. I think it was the Royals. No.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. It was a direct somebody, and we sat right behind home plate, and I was just like, this is fucking sweet. And then we went down into the Audi section where they have like the bar and everything. That was fucking cool.
Yeah, we used to have season tickets. Third baseline, 7th row.
Gotcha.
Fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Always get autographs, or like with season tickets, you get to go in 30 minutes before everybody else.
Oh, really?
So you'd always go in with Diamondbacks batting practice.
Gotcha.
And so like you've always got like third base coaches, everybody just throwing the ball around, and we'd always be like, Coach, let me get a ball, and then just fucking toss them right at you.
Nice.
Right? Like it's super dope.
That's cool.
I will say the only chain of food I like at Diamondbacks is TGI Fridays.
See, I've never really been a big fan of TGI
Especially because you can go into TGI Fridays whenever you want, the day of a game, and watch everybody's batting practices.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's pretty dope.
Yep, because you're in the stadium. You get to watch everybody's batting practice, and where it is, it's home run central.
Right, so they're
Middle
coming
of
right at you.
Fucking perfect area for left field, and good to go. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun.
Pretty cool.
And then they have seats there that they sell day of game, $20 a pop.
That's not bad.
Not at all.
Not bad at all.
Especially because you can have you get a TGI Fridays waitress coming directly to you.
Exactly.
And it's easy in, easy out because you're going out through and in TGI Friday.
Yeah.
So you don't have a lot of issues there.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. One thing we will be going to.
Spring training?
Well, besides spring training is WWE Raw.
Yeah, I'm fucking fucking excited.
February 20th, we're going.
Yeah.
Or 19th, I'm sorry.
19th. I'm holding off on buying tickets until my next paycheck because I'm going to work a little extra overtime this next week so we can get better than what we were looking at. Because if we're both going, I want to make sure that it's the best experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to get as close to ringside as possible.
Fuck yeah, bro. I'm done. And I'll throw some in too.
Yeah, I mean,
do that. And then news that we found out today, for those of you that watch WWE or wrestling, Royal Rumble coming back to Arizona.
2019.
Yep.
But this time they're doing it, I think.
They're doing it at Chase Field.
Yes, I think this is going to be the start of something new. Not only for the WWE, obviously that Chase Field's trying to get anybody and everyone to come in so the Diamondbacks stay. We get that. But I feel like the WWE is going to start making the Royal Rumble as big as Mania.
They should, though.
Because this is like the mecca. Like, who fucking puts event that's usually in a 20,000 seat arena in a fucking ballpark?
Yeah,
like
and
this shit
60,000
just doesn't make sense.
So 60,000 fan arena plus the fact that you're going to be actually able to be on the field watching this.
Yes,
because they're going to have to do those seats as well.
Exactly, that's going to be fucking gnarly.
Now with that, so you've got that, and then having Chase Field's roof open if they allow it.
Oh, of course.
Fucking amazing.
Well, I don't expect that to happen.
In January?
Yeah, no, because I expect the WWE to take advantage of the support beams that go across the roof for lighting fixtures and everything above the ring.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to have it lit up like a baseball field where all the lights are on. It's going to be lit a specific way. I just don't see them doing the roof. But if they were to do the roof, they could do like they did at Mania when they did it here. They built a giant teepee in the middle of University of Phoenix Stadium, and it came up and made a pyramid, and then they had all the lighting fixtures in there, and then they would open the roof and close it halfway during the show and shoot pyrotechnics out of the arena, and then close it, and then open it back up, do the exact same thing, close it.
Yeah.
They could do that, but I don't know. I feel like if they're going to maximize seats, they're going to try to do it the other way around.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the way you do that, I mean, and Chase Field alone, I want to say, is 63,000. Mm-hmm. But then you add all the seats that you'd be able to put onto the field.
Yeah, and you have to think they're going to take up a stage that's going to go from, I would have to imagine, I'm just speculating, I would have to imagine that the stage is going to go, or coming out of the right field bullpen.
Yeah, exactly.
I would imagine that whole section.
Yep.
So you're going to take out the pool. You're going to take out that whole area with the stage. Mm-hmm. You're going to fill the rest of the stadium up. I would have to imagine maybe 3,000 seats on the floor.
Yeah.
Would you think?
At least.
I mean, at least that. That on top of it, you're looking at almost 70,000 people in that place.
At least.
So, do I think they'll sell it out? Not even close. Yeah. I don't think they'll even come close. I mean, unless the WWE markets this Royal Rumble as the mecca of Royal Rumbles, I just don't see it happening.
Right.
When I went to Mania, it was 79. I want to say they had 78 or 79,000 people in that place, and it wasn't sold out.
That's crazy. The
whole upper section. I sat in the upper section, maybe 4 rows from the ceiling, and they still had maybe 3 rows just empty.
Okay.
So I mean, is it possible? Sure. But I mean, like, tickets are going to have to be dirt cheap if they're going to want them to sell that bitch out.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other one is I think the UFC needs to come out here for a pay-per-view.
It won't happen.
Why?
Because Dana White has stated that with pay-per-views, with Vegas being as close as it is, they would never do a pay-per-view here.
Okay.
They'll do one at the Staples Center because it's the Staples Center.
Yeah.
But they won't do one here in Phoenix. It'll always be a fight night or a fight pass fight.
See, and for me, I hate that.
Yeah. I mean, the last one they had here was not too bad. I mean, I had BJ Penn getting his ass whooped in 2 rounds.
Okay.
But the one before that was Stipe and... Was it Hunt? It was Stipe and Mark Hunt were the main event, and Stipe whooped his ass.
Yeah, but still, like, you don't get
Junior Dos Santos.
You don't get a ton of those big names.
Yeah, you don't.
Out here, and that's what sucks. It's like, fuck, you just did one at fucking I get Madison Square Garden. It's Madison Square Garden. Of
course.
Right. But it's like you just did another one in Boston. And it's like, it doesn't fucking... And that shit was sold out, right? It doesn't fucking matter where it is. It's going to sell out if it is a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And, like, that's the thing. Is, sure, Arizona's close to fucking Vegas. But... And we drive up there, so who the fuck says that Vegas people can't drive down here?
Exactly.
You know, like... I think it makes for a lot more fun down here.
I think it would. I think it would bring a lot of... what's the word I'm looking for? A lot more tourists out here. I mean, look what the Super Bowl does for the town.
Exactly.
The PlayStation 4 Fiesta Bowl, which I thought was fucking ridiculous that they named it the PlayStation 4 Fiesta Bowl. But that brings out a lot of people. Obviously, they did the Final Four for the first time out here. That was huge.
Yep.
I mean, I worked at Westgate when it happened, and it was like, what the fuck is going on? There were so many people. They just had a World Cup match out here. I mean, it brings a lot of people out, and it helps the economy. But
that's the thing. Like, Arizona has everything already but UFC, right? So we have all the sports. We have Barrett Jackson. We have half of spring training here. Yeah. We have NASCAR comes, hockey, basketball, football, fucking baseball,
right?
NASCAR, and then the fucking waste management. Like,
which is a huge one.
Yeah, one of the biggest, right? And probably the biggest fucking party one of all time. Like, so you're going to tell me, and those motherfuckers drop money.
Yeah, they do.
So you're going to tell me you're not going to fucking come and do a large-scale UFC event where motherfuckers are going to drop money?
Yeah.
Like, in Vegas, sure, I get it. But here's the thing. You have some people that'll drop money, but the most of them go to Vegas to drop money at the casinos.
Exactly.
On hookers and blow. Arizona, you don't have the casino, the good hookers, or the real good blow.
Yeah, no. No.
So you spend it all at the UFC shop at this event.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
It's a no-brainer to me.
I feel like if they were smart, they would do one in Glendale.
Yeah.
The viewing angles in Glendale at that
At Westgate?
Forget about it.
The killer.
That jobbing.com arena, they could put an octagon in the middle and just fucking...
Yeah, especially because it is a hockey arena.
It's built for it.
It's built perfectly.
Exactly.
It really is.
I know not Bellator, but I know Bader was talking about it for a while, and so was Benson. They were talking about wanting to do an all-Arizona card out here when they were with the UFC, and UFC kept saying no.
Well, so that's my thing is right now Bader is champion in...
Bellator.
And he's heavyweight champion in Bellator. They've got the heavyweight Grand Prix coming up. But for that, if they're smart like UFC, how like they'll do like the at-home fights and shit that are pay-per-view. Yeah. Bellator is gonna end up coming to Arizona to do an at-home fight for Brian Bader.
You know who does fights out here more often than anyone?
Who?
World Series of Fighting.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They do that at the old Dodge, Comerica. They fill that bitch up for fights.
Yeah, but you've got fucking a lot of big namers that come out for the World Series of Fighter.
Exactly.
Like Nate Diaz checks those bitches out. Like, all the people that are actually love the sport as a pure sport.
I feel like the purists are the ones that are going to World Series of Fighting.
But that's okay with me because those are the ones I want to see.
Exactly.
I don't want to see the ones that are in it for money. Yeah, it'd be great to fucking meet McGregor, right?
Right.
But I'd much rather be able to fucking have a beer with a dude that's truly about the sport and not about the money.
Right.
You just don't see it anymore.
No, and I hope they do. I hope Bellator. If Bellator were to come out for a fight, I would go.
I'd go.
Oh yeah, I don't like Bellator. I don't like the circle. I don't like the colored gloves. But I would still go.
Bellator for me is too much like a mixture of UFC and WWE.
Yes.
Like they try to do these storylines and shit.
The stage, all that bullshit. I don't need it.
Yep.
I don't need it. Strip it down to what it is and let it be that.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, they have huge
fighters,
but they have huge backing and support from Japan.
Yep.
Bellator owns Ryzen. and Ryzen's huge right now because Pride's gone.
It is.
So, you have so many investors coming in from Japan who are investing all this money. Spike TV's invested all this money in them, which is now Paramount.
TV's no more.
I know. Paramount Television.
Bottom out.
Which is not going to last very long. I don't think it will.
Paramount bought out, or in their little Paramount Picture Media, Spike TV, CMT. They're trying to buy out MTV. They're trying to buy out Comedy Central, and one more big one. But their whole thing with that is it's everybody's trying to go to an app, right? So like Disney just bought out Fox,
right?
For the fact that they've now pulled everything Fox and everything Disney off of Netflix, off of Hulu, because they're making it to where you have to buy the Disney streaming app, and that's where you're going to get those movies.
When did they pull Disney off of Netflix?
Recently.
Really?
Recently. Very, very recently. I want to say within the last week or so.
Really?
To where you're going to have to buy Disney's streaming app and pay monthly like you would for Netflix. And so that's what now Paramount is trying to do.
Disney tried to do that a long time ago and it failed.
Yep, and
I'd be interested to see how
I see it happening again. It failing.
It won't, because you have your big two.
Yep.
I mean, you can't compete with Hulu. No. Well, you can. Netflix whoops Hulu's ass all day long.
But what's interesting is Hulu has 17.6 million subscribers a month. Netflix does have a lot more than that. But it's like, now Netflix is coming out with their own original shit.
Yeah.
And honestly, those are the shows and movies that I prefer to watch.
Right. Well, I like it because it's uncensored.
And it's something new.
Exactly.
Because it's uncensored.
New. It's uncensored. I've been watching The Ranch with my mom, which is why I haven't finished it yet. Because we only watch an episode at a time, or if we're lucky, we'll catch two. And it's like every time I watch it, I have to remember that this is Netflix.
Yep.
So when he drops an F-bomb, it's like, what? This is on... Oh, okay, it's Netflix. I get it. Netflix is killing the game in comedy specials.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, worlds above everyone else right now. And they're paying top dollar to get these comedians to do it, which is great. Their original TV shows, Orange is the New Black, is fucking huge. The Ranch is huge. All of the Marvel shit that they've done is becoming bigger and bigger.
Yeah, you've got Daredevil, you've got Luke Cage, you've got
Iron Fist,
Jessica Jones,
and the Defenders.
And they're coming out with the Black Panther.
Are they doing another one for? Are they doing one for Black Panther? Really? With them doing the movie, they're going to do a series on it too?
They did a Daredevil movie. They did a Punisher movie. But
the Daredevil and Punisher movies were made outside of the original Marvel Cinematic Universe.
True, but yeah, it's still speculation, but there was an article about them doing a Black Panther.
I wouldn't watch it.
No,
I have no interest to see the Black Panther movie. And before any of you motherfuckers say it, it's not because he's black. I just don't care.
See, I think the Black Panther is dope, but I feel like it's going to become extremely fucking political.
I agree with that 100% too.
And here's my thing. What I don't understand is when did the Black Panther come out?
So he hasn't. He just appeared in Civil War. The last
major... I mean, was he ever in comics or anything like that?
Oh, of course, yeah. He was a big player in the comic series. So when?
Long time ago?
Hold on.
Because I feel like he was named after the gang, the Black Panthers. And that's why he has the name he does. Yes, no, maybe so. You can multitask. Come on now.
I'm looking. I hear you. His first ever appearance was 1966.
Black Panther era. That's where it came from.
Very possible.
And that's why it's a black person playing the Black Panther.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
I could see that. It's possible. I don't know. I don't need to see another Origins film at this point. I want to get to Infinity Wars and move on. I don't want to see another one of those. This is how he got his powers. This is why, I get it. He hit the king of Uganda or whatever, died. We saw that in Civil War. Move on. I don't need another one. So, but give him a character to cheer for.
Anyways, I'm tired of these fucking politics and craziness.
Yeah.
I need some sleep.
Yes, you do.
You need some sleep.
Yep. Your
We've
wife
got to
is
be
asleep.
up in, huh?
Your girlfriend's asleep.
That is not what you said.
I know. I said the other one.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Too soon? Too soon?
We've got 4.5 hours until we've got to be up and on the road. So on that note, continue drinking the good drinks, eating the good foods, and being an overall good fucking person.
I love fat people.
Show me the honey.